All right, welcome back to all of you fine folks. Episode 3. It's interesting, the first time you log in, it seems to still take a minute. But then once you're logged in and start traveling around, you're golden. So I thought what we would do is try to focus. Oh goodness, hold on. Try to focus today's strategy around cafe orders. So this one might be gone, but this one will still be here. We should definitely hit nighttime rough if I'm still able to be recording at that time. We could also partner that with trying to find Bream here, but 3 might be asking a lot since I don't actually know where they are at Mosquito right now, but we'll try. We'll see. 24 hours. We might just get this one into. It just depends on how quick we can get onto them. Nothing really else that interesting here. So let's check Winding. But I also want to go by Cottage Pine and get our free worms. I think when you're still this low level, it's worth it. At some point, you'll stop needing to do this because you'll be digging and you'll have like countless amount of worms. But for now, we'll still get our free worms. Let's check Winding. I guess what would be really OP is if Winding had a bleak order. You know, a really nice bleak order right now would be pretty sick. How much silver do we have? 2.5 silver. All right, let's check this at Cafe. Actually, there is nothing here that's that compelling. As a reminder, how much is red worms? 10s. That's a little pricey. And then how much is the shovel? Oh wait, shovel's at the other place. We do want shovel soon. But I think my goal is to get our 3rd feeder, and then before we save up for 38 silver, before we save up for the next upgrades in feeders or a spinning setup or really start focusing on bait harvesting and cooking and stuff, we will get the shovel. I'm feeling Mosquito right now based on those orders. The only thing I was going to do a little bit at Winding, and if we get like feeling the moment, maybe we will do this at Winding, but I did think it'd be cool to go for Bleak for a little bit, potentially. Sorry, let me find something really quick. I'd seen something earlier about an interesting crucian spot at Mosquito that it might be worth trying. So maybe we'll do that. Okay, so let's think about what we're using here. We want to use crucian gibble, and if we're going for decent sized crucian and gibbles, we probably, man, now it's a little loud. And I think I just have it turned up on my end a little bit. So maybe something like this. We want to get that, we want to get the fluorocarbon leader as soon as we can at, are we going to try 4? Let's just see what the bite rate's like on 4. So I think we're good. I mean, not that we could afford to buy anything anyway. And if you look at ground bait, I think we still have, yeah, we can make 2 things of ground bait still. Oh, nope, no more, never mind. Okay, but we don't have the silver for it. So we're gonna go all the way down to here somewhere. It's like a long way away. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've ever fished down here, which is kind of exciting. Let's go try it though. It looks cool. And then once it gets to be nighttime, we'll come try some holes, some of the deep parts of the lake for rough, and maybe we'll get a lucky bream. We're starting off with bigger hooks to see if we can hit some nicer sized crucian gibbles. But if it's too slow, we'll back it off to normal size hooks. Because we don't have the baits that people are using down here to catch the big ones. And so it may not be worth it to have this size hook since we don't have the ideal baits, but that doesn't always matter. We're going to try worm and bread and just see how it goes. And then we'll do something silly with float or spin on the third rod. Maybe we'll start with doing a few casts with spin. If we don't catch anything, we'll switch to float. This looks like a good spot, doesn't it? Man, oh man. I haven't spent enough time here at New Mosquito. Look at all these interesting places to fish down here. I think it'd be fun to try to hit some carp once we have a little bit better gear, like the larger species carp, but we're not there yet. Alright, so we're going right back here in the corner. It is a long haul to get here. Like, we want to be basically like right here, I think. It's kind of a weird spot, isn't it? And it's also a short clip. Alright, so we're going 7 clip. Let's get our retrieval speed up. We'll cast this one right there. And we'll cast this one a little more centered. Oh, it didn't go centered. We'll still try it though. Yeah, let's just see if that does anything. And then for the third rod, we'll start off with this. And yeah, just see if we can catch some things. I mean, this looks like such a good spot, but we'll see. I want to remember to look at the repair cost. I think they've made, when it first came out, when they first started giving this reel away for free at the Cottage Pond, the repair costs I think were pretty favorable, and so it was actually a good reel to repair and use at a low level. I think they increased the repair cost, so I don't think it's really viable, but it could be fun. Let's see how unviable it is. We'll do some comparisons. Yeah, we probably ought to just do float because we want to be closer. I mean, that may just be a nibble. It might not actually be a fish on, but we want to be able to see our rods here. This also, to me, just looks like a spot where you want to cast out really shallow depth, maybe with maggots. I think we might even get like a frog or a bleak. I mean, I guess without flies, we're probably not getting a frog, but this kind of does look like bleak territory, doesn't it? Maybe? Let's just see, rotate baits a little bit, see, ooh. Yeah, that's a bleak, right? To go that fast, I would think. What size hook we have, 20? Oh, it's a crucian. The crucians are alive down here. I like it. Alright, now let's try bloodworm. So on bread, pretty reasonable bite rate. I mean, we got that pretty quick, and it's a nice size. Biggest fish we've caught so far. Nibbles again. We're 2 crucians in. So far, so good. I don't know what that was going to be. Did we were getting sleepers occasionally on bloodworms last time, right? So we are way down here in either G9 or H9. Pretty interesting. All right, so yeah, I don't like the look of this. Let's see what it's doing here. Alright, we might snap it here. We just broke our reel. Can we lift it out now? Wow. That was crazy. I gotta tell y'all, I've not quite seen it like that before. Alright, so this spark is gone. And our cage is gone. That was a little bit of a costly little incident there. Which means oh, it's a gibble. Alright, what are we doing? I guess we're heading back to town? Is that a little roach on bloodworm? Yeah, that makes sense. Roach, the model of the roach looks so good. Has it always looked this good? I mean, I know it hasn't always looked this good, but has it looked that good for a while? Okay, how much silver do we have? 2.5. We've got some okay fish. Let's catch a couple more fish, I guess. And oh, wait. We got to be careful down here, though. We don't want that to happen again. Oh, we also lost the hook. Just thinking of all the things we just lost. Alright, so I guess we want to go like this. Nah. We are liable to break this no matter what we do down here, I think. So let's don't put anything that cost anything on there. So early impression is that maggots went better than bloodworms, so we'll try that. So we'll try to get a couple more fish here before heading back to town, because we need to earn enough to replace what we just lost. So the problem here on the nice maggots are working really good down here. The problem we're having on this rig is that I think the worm is actually pulling the float down. Worm's a little heavy, so we'll do bloodworm on this one, I guess. See if it sits up a little healthier. Yeah, Kinda. I like how active the float fishing is right now on this spot. And we haven't caught a bad fish yet on the feeder. It's been just like one winner after another. We just got to be careful not to cast it too far right so we don't lock it up again. I think we're just going to cast this like over here so we can see it easier. Those feather floats are almost useless. Now the feather floats they sold at the Christmas fair, those are nice, but they're much taller and more sturdy. These, pretty rough. These are pretty rough. That's my fault for having the float rods on the wrong. I normally would have the stronger one on number 2 and the bamboo on 3. That's what we were doing before, but I'm thinking of the bamboo one right now as just like temporarily sitting in the place of our second feeder, so I just stuck it there for now. If nothing else, on this one, we're just, you know, getting levels. We might, who knows, get an easy cafe or something out of it, but mostly what we're catching good fish on is our big float and our feeder. There we go. Yes. It's like every time. Really nice crucian gibbles coming out. I mean, we might be able to afford what we lost. So if that happens to you, if you and your player, and I just hit the wrong one again, and that happens to you, what just happened to me, the safe play there, if it looks like it's that close, like it's about to pop something, it's way up in the red like that, the safe play there is just to relog. Don't do what I did and just keep forcing it like if it's in the red like that. Because these little cheap reels, I mean, they will break on a dime. But I honestly think the other thing I might change is to go with 15 kilo basket, the feeder baskets. I think what's the reel just isn't strong enough to pull the 30 gram. So I'm going to go 15 gram baskets instead of 30 gram, I think. I think that's part of the problem. It's getting stuck on the bottom, and then we're having a hard time getting enough power to pull it off. That's what it seems like, at least. Another nice roach. This is just fun fishing down here. It's a nice little spot. It's literally just a fat crucian spot right now, which is great. Uh-oh. That one went a little farther right, but I think we're okay. We are going to run out of maggots soon. Thankfully they are cheap, but that's another expense if we want to keep using maggots. In an ideal world, we catch enough fish to afford replacing our stuff so that we can be ready for rough at night. I don't know if we'll quite have enough silver or not, though. Another fat crucian. I mean, a lot of these crucians should be about at least 1 silver per crucian, I think. Some of them may be like 1 point something silver. We've got 6 decent sized crucians right now. And a couple of roach. Another roach. This one's smaller. Time of day. Time of day, maybe? Hey, we got him. I think there might have been a little crucian order, right? Or am I getting that confused with winding? Somewhere there was a little crucian order. I can't believe we totally trashed that spark, but we did. Remember when we were casting this one over there? Oh, that's too bad. It's a little fella. This is great, y'all. If you're just starting out, I can't recommend this spot enough. This is the kind of spot we need on New Mosquito. Just solid fishing. One thing you can do if you want to get a little bit more value out of your bread, you can always take a bite out of it. See, now there's 3 out of 4 pieces left, but then you can still use that piece that, you know, to make bread. You just won't make as many baits because it's a quarter eaten. So we only made 22 pieces that time, but you still get your harvesting baits points. Maximum total weight of fish caught per day. Killing it down here in a really short amount of time, 14 minutes or less. Ooh. Oh, another crucian. We don't have any points, do we? Oh, we do have points. Okay, I said we were going to alternate, right? All right, so we're going back between fishing with a feeder rod and using a spinning reel. This is what we haven't had as much of down here, though, are these long nibbles. We're getting it a little bit now, but in general, it hasn't been too bad. And this would be perfect. I mean, if we hadn't trashed our feeder, imagine if we had had 2 feeders. I would have switched both to bread. Bread is working so good right now. I would have switched both to bread, and we'd have twice as many chunky crucians. And then just 1 float to have a little fun with. Which, by the way, float fishing, 13.1. We're doubling our bottom fishing percentage so far. Pretty unusual for me on a leveling guide. And you know, you hit 30%, all of a sudden you can start doing a little more aggressive float fishing with the bolo rods, if that's your desire. All right, we're about to fast travel. About to get out of Dodge and hope that we've got enough here. I'm hoping we can hit 1 more fish on the feeder and 1 more fish on the float. And we're far enough down here that we'll travel to the cottage pond and then just travel back to Mosquito. I think that would be faster than actually walking back up. All right, little gibble, very little gibble. So what's taking so long? This last bite. You know, one thing we could do, I mean, we're going to end up just breaking it, but one thing we could do to save a couple silver is use this fella. I mean, it will break soon, but that's okay. I don't know. It's maybe worth considering. Oh, the nibbles driving me crazy. Oh yeah, we're out of maggots. Good job. I bet worms would do just as well down here for float as well. So remember, we're at 17 centimeter depth on float and 7 meter clip with the feeder. There you go. Take it like you mean it. Take it like you mean it. Alright, if it's not nibbling, we're out of here. Or if the nibble takes too long. How much silver y'all think this will be worth? 15? 20? I don't know. Oh. Me gusta. No me gusta. I mean, it's a game changer how fast they made loading times. It really is. I mean, don't you think that was a lot faster than actually running? So there's 8 silver. That's huge. That's it. Yep. So that's 24 silver, basically. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. Okay, so I think we definitely want maggots. I think we want to go with the light one of these. See if that helps us not run into that situation as often. And did we lose the bite alarm, by the way? Nope. We did lose the hook, but honestly, I think that this size hook, this 6, is doing so well that I might go with 6 instead. In terms of setting up the exact same setup as we had. 2 setups that are exactly the same. Now, unfortunately, I think I will get another one of these. Is it worth the silver? I mean, I think we just always want to have that backup. By the way, yeah, let's go look at the not the hardware store. Is it on the other side or is it around here? Oh shoot, it's on the other side, isn't it? Oh, we didn't get maggots. We still have a little bit of silver left too. It's got to be over here, right? That's a little steep. 317 to repair that mech. That's way too much. So in the first 2 episodes that I posted in this leveling series, I put on there some resources you can go to find hot spots and find out other good information. The one thing I didn't include was Kilted Jock's spreadsheet, which that's a mistake. That's one of the more valuable resources, so I'll try to remember to add that to the list as well. But I want to show you one of the reasons why I think it is so helpful. Alright, so we're going to try a spot over here. We know that in this 4-meter hole, at least from casting over here, last time we got rough. So we know that that might be an option. Let's try from over here. Alright, so something like this should be getting us to the 4-meter hole pretty easily. You see that we're on 7377. Alright, I'm going to pull up one of the websites. This is the rf4.info site. We go to Mosquito and we zoom in a little bit and we see that we're on sorry, wait, 74, 77. It's basically right here, right? All right. All right. You can left click once and then go straight to the hole. And we see, so 15 meters puts us in the hole, right? So we could do 18, even 20, and we know that that'll be well within that 4-meter hole. So like that kind of tells me what clip I might want to use. And we're going to go ahead and set up for rough, because we know that if we can hit rough pretty quickly, early and often, then we might be able to get some cafe orders. So we're going to do a 20 clip straight at that 4-meter hole, cast as far as we can. Oh, we just hit 20 meters. That's great. And same thing on this one. Small hook, worms, roach mix just for fun. And actually what we may do is try this one without ground bait. This one's going to be harder to throw that far because we've got our cage weighs 15 grams instead of 20. But we'll still give it the college try. Did not go as far, but I'm sure it went far enough. And then I don't really know what to float fish for here. We could go right here in this green stuff and just see if we can hit something kind of like what we were in that corner over there. Oh. False alarm. That is the fish we want. Yeah, I totally messed that bite up when we picked it up too early. Look at the angle. Like, you can just tell that as it settles, the angles should be the same. So it looks like they are both in the 4-meter hole, which is good. Has this float done anything? Like, I haven't really been watching, but I don't think it has. So let's go to 1-meter depth, see if it's a depth issue. It may be a lack of fish here issue, but we'll see. Oh. Too shallow. I don't think that's a rough. I could be wrong. That is a nice rough. All right. Still too shallow? My goodness. Oh, I meant to try maggots one cast on that one, but we'll wait till next time, I guess. All right, so let's go to 80 centimeters, see if it's still doing that. I think it will be. Let's try 75. says touching bottom, but it's standing up straight, so that's like perfect. It's pretty much perfect. That's what we want. It's so fun. I mean, I could just, like, low-level lakes and stuff. I could do this all day. I think it's so fun. And I don't mind having one float out, especially during the day. At night, I'd like to have 3 feeders to really hit these rough even harder. The amount of marker rough is really what's impressive to me. I mean, we're just hitting marker after marker here. I mean, it may be the perfect hook size. 20 might just be working great. We might not need those 24s we got, but 24s will help with bleak. Yeah, okay, so so far we have not figured out anything to do on float yet from this spot. What size hook are we doing? I mean, let's try this. Just see if there's any like crucian gibbles over here. Let me do a quick bio break. I'll be right back. Okay. So let's just give it a couple minutes with maggots on. I hate to mess up our rough train we've got going, but let's just see what happens. The other thing I do want to know, though, is if there are any bream here. Which bream will occasionally go for worms. And I just don't know that we have anything else that they, I mean, other than maggots, that the bream are more likely to go for. So I think if they're here, we would see it pop up eventually on worms. God, we're just wasting time here on the float, though, aren't we? I literally don't know what to do here. Wait, what size? Do we have 3 20s now? We do. That's awesome. I don't know. Maybe there'll be a shallow rough. This spot seems really good for rough, but to be totally efficient, I suppose you want 3 feeders, because I just, so far, I haven't been able to get anything going on the float. You notice we did just catch a rough there on maggots. But you know, worm's a cheaper bait, so you want to use worms. But I just wanted to see if anything else at night was going to come out here. with like regularity. Okay. Gonna need a bigger boat. This might be the bream. Is it a marker though? What did we need? 3 1 kilo bream? That is not a kilo. It is a bream though. So it's possible. It looks like it's possible to hit bream here. Our hook size is really small for bream, and our bait might not be ideal, but it looks like it's possible. That's going to be a rough. All right, we're switching this one back to worm. We've already seen the bream. I just wanted to confirm that they were possibly here. Maximum number of fish caught for one day. And as you can see, you don't really need ground bait for rough. It's not going to hurt anything, especially if you have like something like roach ground bait on there, or even crucian gibble. But I kind of like roach ground bait better because it has the bloodworm in it. But it's not going to hurt anything. I just don't think it necessarily makes a significant impact at all. Rough don't care. How many do we actually need? Like, I think we needed like 5 small ones and 5 big ones. I just don't remember where the weight cutoff was. I guess we could go look. It's not like we're going to miss a bite on float. Let's get one more rough off a feeder, and then let's just go look. Because one of them was ending pretty soon. One of those orders was ending fairly soon. That's a marker rough, I believe. It's going to be level 8. Not quite a marker, though. Oh, shoot. You know what that means. Now we can do some comparisons with a size 24 hook. 24 hook can still catch trophy rough. I mean, it's not too small of a hook for rough. I've been surprised actually with 20s just how active it's been. 22 might be the sweet spot. If anything, what we're doing with a smaller hook here is trying to increase the bite rate because the rough are very small fish. The other argument might be we're using a fairly large bait. It's a 1 gram worm. So you're supposed to match the... Oh, hey. You're supposed to match the... That's interesting. You're supposed to match the size of the hook to the fish you're going after as well as the bait you're using. So, I don't know. Again, probably worth trying some different combinations. See what catches us the best rough. Some nice rough, that's all I know. We're doing something right. Is that moving? I think it is. So now we've got the 24 hook. We couldn't use these hooks till we hit level 8. That's why I suddenly was able to pop it on, but... Oh, another nice one. Alright, let's go check out those orders. Not that we necessarily want to stop fishing for rough, but I don't want to miss that the shorter cafe order. So our goal right now is just to keep going until we can afford a 3rd feeder setup for situations like this when float's just not really doing anything. I think at night I tend to want to just go straight feeders in so many different situations. During the day, it's fun to kind of mess around. The fish quality for a lot of the fish that we're going for right now won't be as high during the day. Like the best crucian gibbles, the best bream, the best rough. I mean, you know, it's like a lot of the stuff we're going for is just going to be at night. So, all right, this has the shortest amount of time. Let's make sure that's 25 silver. Can we get this yet? We can't, and we may not be able to, but by getting this, we're not cutting ourselves off of getting that. And that's 25 silver. I mean, that's huge. If we do get this, 4 more, like, that's bigger than 70, then we're going to be rolling in silver. We're just going to be like throwing it on the ground and laying down and rolling around in it. So that's always fun. The rolling around in silver. But we can't quite afford... Man, we're going to be close. Problem is, this is like so much just for the rod. But once we get that, I mean, we have that backup reel already. We could just use a weight instead of a cage for the sinker, because we know that it doesn't require ground bait at the moment for these rough. We also don't have to have a bite alarm on there. We can just look at the line. So, I mean, there's ways we could, you know, if it's really pushing it on silver, there's ways we could do it a little more cheaply. I don't know that we're going to quite get there, though, during this night. Oh, I could have also sold fish that weren't included in that order. I don't know. I don't know. That's interesting. I think the float did move. We're getting a little wind out here, aren't we? I didn't know for sure if this was going to have a fish on there, but I'm like, it's been sitting there a while. There's a good chance that there's a rough that's just too weak to pull the line just sitting there. If nothing else, I mean, obviously we're hoping we might get lucky on those big rough, but it's without another feeder rod. I'm not so sure, but all right. Let's see. Let's just let them soak for a second. I mean, you know, you let them soak for a minute, you come back, there's fish on. Let's just, for funsies, see if we sell everything except for the rough that... Ooh, that is a nice eyed somebody just caught. So, let's see. We want to sell them all except for these two. It's only 7 silver. Does that ever get us there, though? I mean, that affords the rod. Are we still just slightly short? We have to have the sinker. But this is like dirt cheap. We have to have... Well, it'd be nice to have the line. I think we're good. Excuse me, I could not get to the mute button in time. Yeah, we're not going to get the other rough order, but that's okay. I mean, we're still hitting some nice rough and leveling up bottom. Oh, imagine that's a rough. Just imagine the little bream. Oh, it's a white bream. That's cool. All right, let's see here. Let's see if this can be a thing. Bite indicator overrated. Why don't we have the other 24 hook? Did I just get one? Did we just buy one? Gotta watch that line. There may have been a white bream order, but I just feel like white bream are fairly inconsistent. Hmm. Oh, sorry. These light rough not setting off the markers. I'm like staring at this interactive website, trying to come up with some plans. I don't think I closed this. Oh, maybe we did. Might be worth leaving a little bit of slack in this line so that we have a chance of seeing if something happens. trying to figure out how this is actually supposed to work. It doesn't say a location, does it? Oh, my bream. Or common carp. Do we have a point we can put into fishing with a feeder rod? Yes. Try to get a little bit more control. Let's try not to break another spark and 2 sparks in one video. I mean, what's the plan here? Just let him run? So if it's a bream, theoretically it gets tired pretty quick. The question is, do we have enough strength to pull him back? If it's a common carp, it's, I mean, potentially it's just, you know, GG. We're getting to that point, though, where you would think a bream would just kind of start dying out. Fish got away. That's bound to happen on a fish that big. I mean, we have hardly any skill points. We're using very cheap hooks. And by the way, trying to get fish like that, that's why you want to upgrade, hooks when you can. When you get a little higher level, you can use more higher quality hooks. And at the end of the day, does it hurt to spend 20, 30 silver on a single hook? Yes, it hurts at a low level. But you're just gonna land fish that you wouldn't have been able to land otherwise. So, it's another big one. We're gonna get false hope here. Oh, this poor reel. Just last a little bit longer, buddy. I feel like I'm missing something with this website. I see where you can sort by like a specific fish. Let's see if it does something different on different lakes. It doesn't tell you where it's being caught, right? Maybe you're supposed to fill it out yourself? Like, let me give you an example. It looks like you would be able to hit, okay, bleak, right? Where have the bleak been caught? But it doesn't show you anything. Or bream. All it shows you is like, okay, this is what they would be worth. Right? I think these are the cafe orders, honestly. These are possible cafe orders down here. That's what it looks like to me. But like we could say rough. Yeah, those are cafe orders. And we know we're at what spot? 73, 78. Which is technically right there. But we're right here. Map looks a little wonky. And we're kind of straight out at 20-meter clip. Can we add this? Or do we add it here? I don't really understand. Maybe again, I haven't used this website as much as the other ones, but I've recently been told about it, and I appreciate the fact that it lets you do that measuring thing. So anyway, I don't know. If nothing else, it gives you the possible cafe order so you can see the sizes you needed for that real quick. And it helps you measure distances. We're like 170 kilo rough away from having false hope here. Right? Technically, I feel like we should be fishing at that crucian spot with our 3 feeders, but I think I'm going to save that for next episode. I think next episode, you know, barring something really juicy on cafe orders, we're going to go hit that crucian spot down there like really hard. See how we can do in an hour at that crucian spot. I think it might be pretty decent, even without the skill points or higher level baits and stuff. Oh man. False hope. So is that 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we need 5 or 6? I think we need 6, but let's see. 6 pieces over 70. 50 silver, is that what it was? 6 pieces over 104? Holy camole. Wait, we have a white bream. Oh, it's not a marker though. I think we just hit the crucian gibbles hard next episode. I'm just really curious how well that spot does, especially at night. We'll probably have 3, maybe 2 size 6, 1 size 8. I don't know what bait variety we can really do right now because we can't make pearl barley yet or any of the other stuff. Like if you can make sweet dough or semolina, you know, definitely worth trying that stuff down there, but we can't yet. So we probably are just stuck with bread, but it was doing pretty good. So I'm curious, especially at night. Like I feel like some big ones could come out. It might be slow, but we could hit like our first kilo fish. Might be interesting. Yeah, it's getting a little late. You see the bite rate slowing down. This is about the time you want to stop fishing for rough. So we'll kind of wrap it up here. Now, if we hit another 70 right here, it's a water body record. If we hit another 70, then maybe we hold on for a couple more minutes just to try to get lucky. Ooh, it's a crucian. That's fun. Yeah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, is it? We had to have one of those 2 fish be a big boy. It's just because it's getting too late. Something is like toying with that, unless that's just that light breeze that's blowing. which it could be. Nah, that's a fish. That's a fish. Oh, the other priority is buying a new spark. We don't actually want to risk catching a nice fish on this setup and then can't reel it in because of the reel. It'll break halfway in. Just snap it halfway in. So I don't know if we're going to get enough silver. I mean, we want to be able to buy a second spark and a feeder cage. And I'm just not sure that we'll quite be there on silver. Unless we hit that, unless we get lucky on a couple rough real quick. And then as I told you before, we'll just be rolling in silver. Is that a sleeper? Cute. That's 10 different fish on the feeders now. And by the way, you see now, it's starting to look a little more normal as we quickly level up our bottom fishing to past float. Oh, let it be a rough. Let it be a rough. It's not. So you see we're starting to catch the non-rough now. It's a tiny bream. Yeah, I think we're about to call it. We're about to call it here. I will check how long is on the rough order. Because if it's gonna be available for the next overnight, then maybe we start the next episode trying to finish that quest, that cafe order, so we can roll around in silver. And then we move to hitting that Crucian Gibble spot for the rest of the episode. Is it a white or is it a roach? Looks like a white, doesn't it? Yeah, interesting. Definitely getting a nibble on that one. It looks like its own. I'm just trying to make sure. Maybe not. Okay, well, let's go check it out. Oh, that got a little nibble. Yeah, we'll wait then. Let's try to get one more fish here. All right, we used all our points, correct? Yep. Next point, I guess ideally goes in this. And then we hit our fourth. It might be better to go like 2 to 1, 2 points here, 1 point there, something like that. Oops. Crucian, I guess. Or small bream. I mean, it's daytime. Small bream could be coming out. Oh, it is a Crucian. Good. We'd much rather a marker Crucian than a tiny bream. Yeah, that line's moving. Uh-oh. This has been a bit of a weird episode. I'm still like processing how we just destroyed that spark down in the corner down there. But it happened. It happened. So that other rough order should be about gone. Yeah, it is. Oh, a new one popped up. Holy cow. So we're 4. Can we do this one without using any of the 70s? Oh yeah, no problem. Oh, that's 33 silver. We still have 42 hours to get 2 more 70s. We're just rolling around in it. Oh, we need 3 more white bream. Okay. And there's a chance we could get 3 more. It's unlikely, but there's a chance. Wow. Wow. So white bream and rough. So this is what we want to do. Bream. Sell it. Sleeper. We'll keep it just in case. Crucian. Sell them for 3 more silver. Rough. Anything 70 and over we keep. These 3 we sell for 3 more silver. And white bream we keep. All fish that's left, 14 silver. See, these big rough add up, even without cafe orders, but holy cow, the cafe orders, right? So let's get set up so we're ready to go next time. Okay, what do we want to prioritize? We know we want this. And we know we want this. We also need crackers, millet porridge, bloodworm, and if we're not already out of sunflower oil, we will be soon, but we have plenty of caramel. Then the other thing is, it'd be really nice to stop using crappy hooks. These are at least like 3.5 star, right? So, like, you know, in that one spot where we wanted to use 6s, let's get one of those. And then I guess we'll make do. I don't even want to spend the silver on crap hooks anymore. It's just worth it, you know? I'm just not sure what size. So when we set up for the Crucian Gibbles, we want to use 6, 6, and 6. We've got 3 6s already. So we'll just make that work. And then right now we've got 20, 24, and 20. So the thing that I'll think about is maybe it's worth getting a 22. It's basically 8 more silver. And then after that, we're straight up just, other than having to, you know, if we have to buy a bait or a hook or a, you know, something like, or ground bait, other than that, we're just straight up saving until we can afford shovel, tea kettle, tea. Then after we get those, the next priority will be getting these feeder fisher starts. At least 2 of them, maybe 3. 149 silver. But we can even fish for bream with these. It's a little sketch at times, but you can do it. I guess the other thing is, it may be worth getting leaders. We can now use them. Put on 3.2 liters, even if they're not perfect. Start putting those on. It might be worth doing that sooner rather than later. I'll think about it though. That's going to increase our fish quality at least a little bit, I think. So those are all things to think about. And we're going to save these orders because I'm going to be optimistic that work's going to allow me to do one more video. And we're going to start it, hopefully in the next few minutes when it's nighttime. Okay? Thanks for watching. Y'all are the best. I hope you're enjoying this leveling series. Please let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. And I will see you soon.